Right, welcome ladies and gents. We're covering this again. This is Zach Levi's controversial, they're not controversial, anti-Pfizer tweets. This is from, basically James Gunn has responded to it. The other day, Zachary Levi responded to someone on Twitter who said, do you agree or disagree that Pfizer is a danger to the world? And he said, strongly agree, or words to that effect. Now, that absolutely hit the fan. And he copped so much flack on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. And then I think it was like literally the next day, I think he announced that his father had died. So it was like pretty awful stuff. Because again, people were still being assholes. Really, really not nice stuff by any stretch of the imagination. Now, obviously, this caused quite a, a controversy online. I covered it mainly because there is no controversy here. Pfizer is not a good company. They were fined the largest fine in history for fraudulent marketing or something along those lines. They have a history of alleged quite malpractice in African countries for human trials, all alleged and things like that. Like really, really awful stuff, right? Awful, awful stuff. And then you top it off with loads of new things which have come out. It doesn't look good. And just need I remind you, which is bizarre that I have to remind you of this, since when is everyone pro huge pharma? Since when? It's very bizarre. It's almost like unified cognitive dissonance has occurred. It's just strange. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that medications are bad. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. No way in hell am I saying that. But I'm also not going to sit there and say Pfizer has been sent to us from God, because they haven't. And you also have to look at the track record of these companies, and Pfizer is dodgy. They have a really bad track record. Again, it's not to say that they can't turn things around, of course not. But the opinion that they're a danger to the world is not a controversial one. It's based on historical facts that have come out surrounding a company with pretty dodgy practice. Now, everyone obviously took his comments as being anti-vax, which, so what if he is? It doesn't matter, like it's not going to hurt you. You choose to take it, you do what you want. It's not a big deal. These situations don't need to be blown anywhere near out of the proportion that it was. But anyway, James Gunn has now responded to what this article is claiming as a controversial anti-Pfizer tweet. That's right, ladies and gents. It's controversial to not like Big Pharma. Fucking clown world. But anyway, social media has given celebrities platform to share their personal opinions, resulting in praise, cancellations, and controversy. Over the weekend, Shazam, Fury the God star, Zach Levi, came under fire in a big way on Twitter, and it was a big way. It caused an absolute meltdown. The actor shared a tweet from a British TV host whose bio brags about being called anti-vax and transphobic. That's not relevant to the tweet, by the way, or Zachary Levi's personal opinion. This is just, he replied to a tweet that asked who else agrees Pfizer, one of the pharmaceutical companies that produce COVID vaccines, is a danger to the world. And Levi said hardcore agrees, and went on to share a 2009 press release about Pfizer being punished for misbranding an anti-inflammatory drug. Not just misbranding, it's the biggest fine in history. They weren't just punished. They were punished, and it was for misbranding. But let's accurately describe it. It was the biggest fine in history for fraudulent marketing. It's like $2 billion or something like that. Fucking insane. So during a recent Q&A with select members of the press, which is irritating because you can't find this Q&A anywhere, DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn was asked for his thoughts on Levi's tweets, amid speculation about whether actors and characters from the existing DCEU will exist within the new DCU. And this is his statement. Actors and filmmakers that I work with are going to say things that I agree with and things that I don't agree with. And that's going to happen. I don't have a list of things that somebody should say because of what I think. And I can't be changing my plans all the time because an actor says something that I don't agree with. Now, let's hope, right? Let's just hope James Gunn is referring to Zach in this breath, right? It's just something I disagree with. Because we move on even further, and then we start to go into something which I think is cause for concern if he's referencing Zachary Levi. By the same token, if somebody's doing something morally reprehensible, then that's a different story. We have to take all that stuff into account. It's a balance. It's a modern world, and it's a different place. Look, I really hope, but you know that we do live in a clown world. But I really do hope that he is not referencing Zach when he's talking about morally reprehensible behaviour, because there's nothing morally reprehensible about saying, "Yeah, strongly agree that they're a danger to the world." There's nothing morally reprehensible. It's just an opinion. It's just something that you can agree with or disagree with, and you can be on your merry way. It doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. In any way, shape, or form. Now, I will say, I'd like to think, but I don't think that it is the case, I'd like to think this morally reprehensible element is in reference to Ezra Miller. Look, we talk about Zachary Levi copping loads of flack and a massive controversy and everyone going insane on Twitter, and it's still, people are like, dangerous opinion. Where's the article still talking about Ezra Miller? Literally choking a woman out on camera, slamming a chair into a woman's head, cracking a skull open in Hawaii, threatening to bury a girlfriend and boyfriend and stealing their wallets. Where's the articles about him having a felony charge for stealing from a neighbour? He stole a bunch of liquor. That is morally reprehensible behaviour, right? The claims of cult leader, grooming 12-year-olds, that we could consider to be morally reprehensible behaviour. Just sitting there going, on Twitter, mind your own business, going, yeah, you know, I strongly agree that they're a danger to the world. This company that's had the biggest fine in history for fraud, fraudulent marketing. I mean, for goodness sake, let's take a step back on this, shall we? You know? And then they say this. This article irritates me so much. Gunn is no doubt thinking back to how Disney fired him after some offensive jokes he shared on Twitter resurfaced years later. Ultimately, Levi is entitled to his opinion, though he may want to tread carefully, as others who have arguably gone too far with their anti-vax view. You don't even know if he's anti-vax, you fucking spaz. Goodness me. You don't know that he's anti-vax. He just said he agreed that they're a danger. Ugh. Anyway. But this is funny. Shazam franchise producer Peter Safran is DC Studios co-CEO. So this is probably why he thinks he's safe. And you know what? He might be safe. And you know what? I hope he is. I hope he is safe because he's not saying anything bad. Controversial. It's controversial to be anti-Pfizer, is it? Piss off. Give me a break. Honestly.